It's a media blackout. Clinton colleague.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right, this is live. We're live right now.
Okay.
This is what it looks like. This is just a test. I can delete this later.
Okay,
on.
that's fine.
So.
And you want to just do it, see how we sound? You'll play it back. And
Yeah,
see.
this is just to talk, see how it sounds, and I'm going to stop, and then I'll
content. You know, I'd rather just let's see how it sounds and how it looks, and then we can maybe go on like 7:45. Is that good?
That's good.
All right, so let's just see how we sound. So whatever we're talking about, like a testing 1 2 3. We'll see how it sounds. Sal and I today are going to start doing the Red podcast. It's our debut pre-Easter. Basically on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, my boy Sal and I are going to sit at the bar. It's bar's right behind us. We're going to be sitting here having one of our wonderful and just discussing what's happening in the world today, especially in our country, which a lot of craziness is going on. And unfortunately, there's something we call a media blackout, where these journalists and these major news networks are being programmed by the DNC on what to say, how to say it, and where to say it. And the frightening part about it, Sal, is that no one knows about it except for people like us. If we're talking about social media and we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, podcasts like this, it's the only way you're finding out about it. Only way.
So this is the reason that we're doing this podcast, is to bring people the information that they're not going to get on TV.
Absolutely.
So,
and what's great about it is we basically have, and this is the interesting part about it, peeps, is we have several generations here. We got myself, who is a generation a lot like a lot of you, born in '65, graduating high school in '83. Then we have my boy Sal here, who's a millennial, but he's not your normal millennial. He's a conservative millennial. He's a red, and him and his friends, it's interesting talking to them and how their outlook is. But even more, what their outlook is the people they come in contact with every day. And and I do as well, but I like to get it. It's kind of like he's in the battlefront with these people. They're his age. I just talk to people outside when I'm in the public, getting their feedback. And from my point of view, there's a lot of fucked up millennials out there, but with all due respect, a lot of fucked up people my age as well. So what's been your experience talking to people your age and what you're seeing out there?
I mean, it really depends on the group. It's really based on like socioeconomic status. And like with that comes education.
Yep.
So just seeing that people are just poorly educated and just like it's a whole scale and a whole circle of like not giving a fuck is what it is.
Right.
So like it stems from the parents, and come from the parents, it goes from their grandparents, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah. The funny thing is what Sal's saying is he used an interesting word, education. I have a little different perspective. I know people who are supposedly highly educated. We know them. We can name a few right now who have great jobs. But I always say education in a book doesn't give you common sense, or maximum sense is what I call it. And what I mean by that is they could do their job incredibly well. And it might be a difficult job for someone like maybe an engineer, maybe a physicist, maybe a scientist, whatever the case may be. But when you start talking to them about things like this, they just come up with some crazy fucking statements. Like we have someone we know very well, and a very bright dude. And but he'll post weekly that Obama was the best president ever. And when Sal and I hear this, and we just laugh our asses off. But this person will stick to the letter of the law. And when he says intelligent person who supposedly may score high on IQ test could think like this.
That's what we were saying before about is it willful ignorance, willingly being ignorant? Is it not wanting to know the truth, and just so you can kind of, blind your chaos and the hysteria that's actually going on in this world? I get that, but you're grown up. You got to face the facts. You got to understand what's going on in this world and fucking take the bull by the horns. Like
exactly
what I was saying before is like when you take that kind of stance, you're going against your better moral judgment. You have to be like
no moral compass.
You're not looking into the facts of anything. You don't care. You just are taking face value of all these different media outlets that are being uncovered by the day to just be fraudulent and not even tell you what's actually really going on out there. They're omitting so many facts and so many stories. So if you don't do the due research and actually want to better yourself as a person, it's not that we were so pro-Trump that we love everything he does. We don't love everything he does. It's just that he's the right man for the situation right now. And
Without
you
doubt.
might as well jump on board of this plane because you're just it's taken off. It took off already. You gotta
Right.
just be on board with us.
Well, and to kind of build on what Sal said, peeps, it's if you realize the last three candidates, the Republicans put forward, and we know who they are. They were McCain, Romney, and G.W. Bush. All three of those gentlemen, when the media didn't pound them 1/10 of what they're pounding Trump, but when they did, all three just rolled up in the fetal position and took it up the ass. I mean, McCain just quit. He was. I personally think McCain was a plant.
Yeah.
I don't think he could ever won. Look at him. He was a dead man walking. He looked dead. He looked dead, but he couldn't pull it off. Romney, if you remember back, and I remember I was heading to the shore. I was listening to the debate, the first debate. If it was a football game, Romney would have won it 81-3. He destroyed him. He came out on fire. He came out prepared, and he's a bright dude, and he kicked his ass. But what happened afterwards? 2 weeks later in the debate, he just quit.
Yeah.
He quit. He actually know what it was like doing? It was like a football game, and he gave the opposing coach his playbook and destroyed him.
All right, peeps, you're listening to the Red Podcast. We're going to be right back. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, let's see how that works. Let's see how it sounds.